Get ready because this story sounds unreal. Alvaro Arbeloa is playing football we've genuinely never seen before. Real Madrid suddenly look alive again. The stars are shining. Vinícius is decisive. Mbappé is ruthless. The team is dominant, and the question is unavoidable. Is Arbeloa the lucky general Real Madrid desperately needed? The answer is simple. Yes, and if you don't believe it, take a look at this. Just 236 days ago, Arbeloa was coaching Real Madrid C. His season ended with a semi-final defeat in the Under-19 Copa against Valencia and a league draw with Atletico Madrid, both tied on 75 points. That is not the resume you expect from someone about to walk into the Bernabeu dressing room and command Vinícius Jr., Kylian Mbappé, and Jude Bellingham. At that moment, Arbeloa was almost invisible to the media. Aside from a couple of heated touchline moments with Fernando Torres, his former World Cup winning teammate and Atletico academy coach, he was far from the spotlight. No one, not even in their wildest dreams, imagined him as a future Real Madrid first-team coach. Then everything changed. That same day, club legend Raúl González resigned as Castilla coach. The phone rang. On the other end was Florentino Perez. One more step in Arbeloa's quiet rise. The start was brutal. 4 defeats in his first 5 matches with Castilla. Then came humiliation, a 4-1 loss to Arenas on January 10th. No recovery, no redemption. Just the reality of watching the Spanish Super Cup final between Real Madrid and Barcelona from his sofa. And then, everything collapsed above him. Xabi Alonso was dismissed. Real Madrid needed a solution. They needed. Alvaro Arbeloa was standing on the biggest stage in world football. What happened next changed everything. People often say it was the powerful French Emperor Napoleon Bonaparte who once said, with pure cynicism, "I prefer lucky generals to competent ones." And speaking of emperors, that idea might be living rent-free in the mind of Florentino Perez right now, because Real Madrid's fragile situation depends as much on whether Alvaro Arbeloa is good enough as it does on whether luck decides to smile on him. Arbeloa's reign didn't start with fireworks. It began with a humiliating Copa del Rey defeat against Albacete, a second division side fighting relegation. There is no excuse for that performance, and no one can seriously argue that crashing out early of a competition, one that guarantees a direct place in next season's Supercopa, if you win it, was part of some clever master plan. Things got worse when Arbeloa doubled down. After the loss in Albacete, and again before the following La Liga match, he said those words didn't land as brave or principled. They were labelled stubborn, lacking self-criticism. That's how the football media behaves when they smell blood. But here's the key point, and pay close attention. Being out of the Copa del Rey could actually become a hidden advantage for this wounded, exhausted, and unstable Real Madrid. Madrid's key players have had 2 painfully short pre-seasons, barely training camps, more like rushed fitness checks. This team hasn't played a single full 98-minute match, where they dominated from start to finish, mentally and physically. So what's the solution? Run them into the ground in January? Obviously not. And that's where Albacete enters the story. Was it a good decision to rest Kylian Mbappé, Jude Bellingham, Thibaut Courtois, and Aurélien Tchouameni in a debut match against a fearless underdog with nothing to lose? No, absolutely not. But look at the contrast. Barcelona went all in their cup match, qualified, and then collapsed in La Liga that weekend. Madrid, meanwhile, found energy and goals in the second half against Levante, cut the gap to the top from 4 points to just 1. And then, at the Bernabeu, completely dismantled AS Monaco, reminding everyone what this European giant really is. Lucky general? Maybe. But sometimes luck looks a lot like timing. This positive momentum, after what looked like an apocalyptic moment for Real Madrid, the defeat against Albacete is not new. Madrid have lived this exact pattern before, with different squads, different coaches, and every single time it ended in pure success. Pay close attention, because the coincidences are genuinely frightening. Real Madrid won the Champions League in 2014.
Vendiendo la derrota en este tramo final en Madrid, pero estamos en el 47, aún no hemos llegado al 48. El remate. ¡Gol!
And again in 2024, 10 years apart. In 2015, they won no trophies at all. And in 2025, They also finished the season empty-handed. In 2015, Carlo Ancelotti was sacked.
La Junta Directiva ha adoptado esta tarde la decisión de relevar a Carlo Ancelotti como entrenador del Real Madrid.
And guess what happened in 2025? Ancelotti was sacked again.
Ha sido extraordinario vivir esta historia con vosotros. Creo es una historia inolvidable.
But now the facts get even harder. In 2015, Cristiano Ronaldo won the Golden Boot. In 2025, Kylian Mbappé won the Golden Boot. Even the coincidences at the very top of European football lineup. Luis Enrique won the Champions League in 2015.
Neymar to seal it all.
And who won the Champions League in 2025? Luis Enrique again. Now pay serious attention, because this is where it gets wild. In July 2015, Real Madrid hired a Spanish coach, Rafa Benítez.
Querido Rafa, contigo empezamos una nueva etapa. Bienvenido de nuevo a tu casa.
He was sacked in January 2016.
Ahora con el entrenador del Real Madrid, con Rafael Benítez, que fue despedido tras los malos resultados que obtuvo recientemente por el equipo.
In June 2025, Real Madrid hired another Spanish coach, Xabi Alonso.
Muy buenos días a todos. Sin duda para mí hoy es un día muy especial. Es un día que voy a tener marcado en mi calendario de por vida.
And when was he sacked? January 2026.
Este lunes 12 de enero marca la destitución de Xabi Alonso como técnico del Real Madrid.
In January 2016, Real Madrid promoted Zinedine Zidane from Castilla to the first team, a former Madrid player who had never coached a top-flight side.
En primer lugar, quiero agradecer al club, a usted, Presi, por darme la oportunidad de entrenar a este equipo.
In January 2026, Madrid did the exact same thing with Alvaro Arbeloa, another former Madrid player, also without first division experience.
La responsabilidad que tengo de la bonita empresa y tarea que tengo por delante y como tú dices con muchísima.
And the final piece before this turns prophetic. In the 2015-2016 season, Real Madrid were humiliatingly knocked out of the Copa del Rey by Cádiz in the first round. In the 2025-2026 season, Real Madrid were humiliatingly knocked out of the Copa del Rey by Albacete in the first round. If history truly repeats itself, then by that same logic, Barcelona would win the Copa del Rey and La Liga, just like 10 years ago. And then comes the final chapter of the prophecy, June 2016. Real Madrid Champions League winners.
Fielding. Pepe ready to make his move on by Bale.
2017, back-to-back Champions League winners.
Carvajal, Ronaldo.
2018, three-peat Champions League winners.
Hello. Three in the box waiting for the cross, and it was Bale!
Have we lost our minds? Maybe. But what is absolutely real is this. Arbeloa's Real Madrid looked like a white Ferrari in the Champions League. And that should scare absolutely everyone. Real Madrid are smiling again. The Santiago Bernabeu finally enjoyed a proper European night with dominant football and goals everywhere, as Alvaro Arbeloa's team destroyed AS Monaco. After the historic boos against Levante, the fans showed up and the players responded. The mood around the squad has clearly changed, and the confidence is back. Madrid started like a storm. After just 5 minutes, they were already ahead. The move began on the right with Mastantuono, continued with a perfect pass from Valverde, and ended with a calm finish from Kylian Mbappé, who gave the keeper no chance. 2 minutes later, another fast transition almost made it 2. But Vinícius Jr.'s left-footed shot went wide by inches. Madrid were in total control, and by the 20th minute the Monaco keeper was already busy after a dangerous delivery from Arda Güler. The second goal arrived in the 26th minute, and it was pure class. Camavinga started the move with a clever back heel in midfield, Arda played a brilliant through ball. Vinícius squared it with the outside of his boot, and Mbappé tapped in. 2 goals for the Frenchman, his 11th in the competition. Monaco had a brief reaction, hitting the bar through tees and forcing a great save from Thibaut Courtois, but Madrid never lost control. Before half-time, Jude Bellingham came close with a header that went over. The second half followed the same script, but with even more damage. 5 minutes in, Mastantuono made it 3 with a powerful finish after another assist from Vinícius. Soon after, a dangerous ball across the box ended in an own goal. Madrid were flying. Then came the moment Vinícius truly deserved. He carried the ball from midfield, beat his man, and smashed it into the top corner. 5-0 and the Bernabeu was on fire. Madrid kept pushing. Arda nearly added another, Monaco pulled one back, but the night belonged to the home side. In the final minutes, Bellingham rounded the keeper and calmly made it 6-1 after yet another Valverde assist. A young academy player even made his debut before the end. A huge win, another European victory, and a clear message sent. To play like this, Arbeloa did something very special with this team. Pay close attention to what comes next, because this is only the beginning. With Kylian Mbappé, there is paradise. When Mbappé is fit and confident, Real Madrid move forward, and at times they look unstoppable. The French star has now matched Cristiano Ronaldo in the Champions League by scoring 11 goals in a single league phase of the competition. Back then, Ronaldo finished that season with 16 goals and lifted the trophy in 2015-2016. Mbappé has also equalled Cristiano's record for goals scored in a single calendar year, reaching 59. These are not coincidences. These are signs of greatness. Vinícius, meanwhile, did what he does best. He focused purely on football. When Vinícius Jr. keeps his mind on the game and away from fights with opponents, tension with his coach, or battles with the crowd, he becomes decisive. Against Monaco, he was everywhere. The Bernabeu may not have fully forgiven him yet, but performances like this one change everything. If Vinícius keeps playing like this, the applause will come back, slowly but surely. But it doesn't stop there, and none of this feels accidental. It is still early, but it already looks like Alvaro Arbeloa has connected with the dressing room in a way Xabi Alonso never quite managed.
Te lo digo todo el rato, ve a por ello. Lo vas a petar, lo vas a petar, lo vas a petar, dale. Aguanta.
The squad is with him, the leaders are with him, and slowly, the fans are getting back on board. That connection between the crowd and the players, something that had been missing for a long time, is starting to return, especially in big games where attitude and character used to fall short. Now around Chamartin, there is a clear feeling that the season can still be rescued, with patience. They were not the worst team before, and they are not European champions now, but there are green shoots everywhere, and several key changes are already having an effect. The first big change is attitude. Arbeloa has delivered a calm, unifying message that the dressing room clearly needed. You can see it in how he protects his players in every press conference. He understands the demands of Real Madrid, knows how to deal with critics because of his past with Jose Mourinho, and is very clear about what he wants from his squad. In barely a week, he has refreshed the team's image in terms of hunger, ambition, and desire. That feeling had been badly missed in Madrid. Then there is the step forward from the heavyweights. Players like Jude Bellingham, Vinícius Jr., and Federico Valverde have responded. They have taken responsibility and reconnected with the Santiago Bernabeu crowd. The improvement is obvious. The season depends on them, on maintaining this level and pushing the team forward. Each in their own way has lifted a side that only weeks ago looked lost, with no clear attacking plan, no defensive structure, and no real connection on the pitch. And finally, the physical side. If Arbeloa wanted Antonio Pintus to play a central role, it was for a reason. Inside the club, there was real concern about the physical condition of many players, and it showed in matches. The team regularly dropped off after an hour. Legs went heavy, energy disappeared, opponents dominated second halves. That is why the fitness coach is so important. Pintus knows these players inside out. He has worked with them before and turned them into European champions. Arbeloa is trusting him to do it again. It will not be easy, but for now, there is optimism. And for the first time in a while, there are real reasons to dream. Arbeloa is being extremely intelligent because he is applying a proven methodology, one that has already worked at the highest possible level at Real Madrid. Zinedine Zidane was always very clear about one thing. When you put the players at the centre of everything, success arrives naturally. During his 2 spells at the Bernabeu, Zidane turned Real Madrid into a winning machine, lifting 3 consecutive UEFA Champions League titles and 2 La Liga trophies. His core belief was simple but powerful. Success at Madrid starts with making the player feel valued. Zidane explained it perfectly. We are always there for the players. If you don't understand that, You can't survive in this profession. They need to feel supported, trusted, and respected. When players are happy, confident, and eager to play, victories come naturally. To implement any idea, first you must win the dressing room. If players are not convinced by the training plans, the daily routines, or the methods, something will always be missing. Zidane believed his players felt comfortable and excited in every aspect, and when that happens, winning 3 Champions League titles becomes inevitable. Those words echo loudly in the current context of Real Madrid. Xabi Alonso was dismissed after less than 8 months in charge.
Are you surprised at how quickly this all came about? Xabi Alonso was only in the job for 8 months.
No, I'm really not surprised, to be honest. I completely understand how Real Madrid works, and if the results aren't coming in, and it doesn't have to be many, you're gone. And
what has followed under Arbeloa proves Zidane's philosophy still works. The leaders responded immediately. Jude Bellingham answered with a goal. Vinícius Jr. delivered an MVP-level performance. Federico Valverde provided 2 assists while playing as a fullback. Arda Güler is now on 4 consecutive matches with an assist. But there is one case that could change this team forever if Arbeloa fully unlocks him: Franco Mastantuono. At just 18 years, 5 months and 6 days, Mastantuono wrote his name into history by scoring his first goal in the UEFA Champions League. That goal made him the 3rd youngest scorer for Real Madrid in the competition since 1992, behind only Endrick and club icon Raúl González Blanco. Sharing that list is not just a statistic, it is a signal of the level his career can reach. Among Argentine players, the achievement is even more striking. Mastantuono is now the 2nd youngest Argentine scorer in Champions League history, only behind Lionel Messi, who scored his first European goal in 2005. Slowly, the noise and doubts are fading. After overcoming a long pubalgia injury that kept him out for weeks, Mastantuono has recovered rhythm, confidence and importance at a critical moment for the team. He didn't raise his hand with words, he did it with football. First against Albacete, finding the net again. Then against Levante, coming off the bench in a tense Bernabeu, asking for the ball, combining and being decisive. The real statement came in the Champions League against AS Monaco. Mastantuono was electric from the first minute, aggressive on the right wing, brave, direct, involved in everything. The reward arrived with a goal, and with a Bernabeu that replaced whistles with applause. That is how important it is for a Real Madrid coach to win the dressing room. When the players believe, they perform. And when they perform, they take Real Madrid back to the place it belongs.